I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me in the second of this four-part series on money scripts. Let's explore the category that Dr. Brad Klontz calls money worship. Unless you've always envied the mythical golden touch of King Midas, you may be quick just to dismiss the possibility of being someone who worships money. That universally probably doesn't sit right with us. However, your dominant money scripts might fit into this category if they are like the following. Things would get better if I had more money, or more money would make me happier. Maybe another one would be money would solve all of my problems. If those resonate with you, then be open to the fact you might fit into this category. Research has found that those with money worship scripts tend to have lower levels of education, income, and net worth, along with higher levels of credit card debt. Interestingly, the self-defeating money behaviors associated with money worship are similar to those around money avoidance, which we looked at last week, which include compulsive buying, hoarding, financial dependence, financial enabling, financial denial, and workaholism. There is truth to the fact that more money can make a person happier. Research finds that there is a direct correlation to an income of roughly $75,000. After that, there's very little correlation between making more money and actually being happier. And this makes sense when we consider the stress and unhappiness that come from being unable to provide adequately for yourself and your family. In that case, more money is needed to make things better and solve many problems. But once you have enough money to live comfortably, more money becomes less relevant to happiness. However, when you deeply believe more money will result in more happiness, fewer problems, and a better life, and then that doesn't happen when you have more money, the logical conclusion is that you underestimated the amount needed. So the equally logical conclusion is to raise the bar. If an income of $100,000 didn't result in happiness, maybe $125,000 would do the trick. Or maybe $150,000 or $200,000. Most folks that fall into this category rarely get to a place financially where they feel that they have enough. They may also reach a point where accumulating more money becomes not just the means to the goal of more happiness, but the actual goal itself. Money worship scripts develop in part from living in a society, that would be the United States, which supports fully the worship of money. We're surrounded by messages that more money equals success. It often appears that people with wealth are more valued and respected than people without it. It can be difficult to challenge these values, especially if money worship beliefs are strongly held by our families, among our friends, and throughout our career fields. So, what should you do? Well, Dr. Brad Klontz has some suggestions for money worshipers. He suggests that you establish a habit of budgeted, intentional giving, keeping in mind that giving might include time and skills as well as money. This might seem somewhat foreign for a money worshiper to get into the habit of giving money away, but that's exactly the intention. Avoid buyer's remorse by putting time between your impulse to buy something and then pulling the trigger on it. Consciously consider your intentions and your needs before you're making that purchase. Your mother's suggestion to count to 10 before doing something probably really fits in well here. Focus on doing things you enjoy with people you love, using money to build connections and memories rather than accumulate possessions. There's a lot of research behind this, that experiences will result in more happiness than the possessions. This last point is perhaps the most crucial. It's ultimately futile to link happiness to our net worth, our earnings, or our financial success. Having enough money to live without the constant stress of financial uncertainty is definitely an important component of well-being. And even more important are healthy relationships and supportive connections. This, I think, was a lesson that was learned by King Midas. According to the legend, he was initially elated at being granted his wish that everything he touched would turn to gold. But the hollow nature of that happiness was made clear to him the moment he touched his daughter. Thanks for listening.